pong bagong lumutang na anggulo na isinasangkot yung mismo anak ni Ken na siya daw ang nasa likod ng pagkidnap at pagpatay sa kanyang kapatid.
Unang-una po ma'am, just to give you update on the case of Anson Tan or Anson Ke kidnapping for ransom case. Last Monday po ay nagkaroon po ng preliminary investigation sa Department of DOJ wherein yung mga ibang impleaded po na respondents aside po dun sa tatlo po natin na in-inquest were given opportunity po to submit their counter affidavits and answer as to the allegation implicating them in this particular case. And including po dito sa sinasabi po nyo na lumabas sa news na isa sa mga main suspects po ay in-implicate po yung anak po mismo ng ating pong biktima, particularly anak po ni Anson Tan, claiming it was the son who ordered for the kidnapping ni Anson Ke and eventually ordering na patayin po ito pong ating biktima. And this is precisely the reason po why he was impleaded as one of the respondents doon po sa isinampa po nating kaso. At yun po yung naging subject po ng preliminary investigation last Monday. At maliban po doon ay may iba pa po tayong inimplead po dito sa kaso po na ito, particularly yung pong mga na-identified po natin during the financial investigation na pinagdaanan po ng pera. Kung matatandaan nyo po, na-mention na po natin ito before, na this is not an ordinary snatch and grab kidnapping case wherein yung biktima ay magdadala ng bag na maleta ng pera at yun ay iti-turn over physically sa mga kidnappers. Ito pong kaso po na ito ay very complex po. Ilan po yung pinagpasahan po nito? Hindi bababa sa 5 katao ang pinagpasahan po nito using po yung junket operators po ng casino. At lahat po ng pinagdaanan po ng pera yan ay inimplead po natin sa kasong isinampa po natin at lahat po ng individual po na yon ay dadaan po sa preliminary investigation. However, other than the statement po ng isa po doon sa prime suspects po natin, ay we are still gathering some information that would corroborate itong sinasabi niyang involvement po nitong anak mismo ng biktima. And doon naman po sa sinasabi nga po na nag-utos di umano doon sa pagkidnap at pagpatay sa kanyang ama, he is cooperating with the AKG, and in fact he voluntarily submitted his cell phone na ginamit po niya during the negotiation with the kidnappers. At yan nga po ngayon ay dumadaan po sa forensic and scientific processing para po makita kung ano po yung laman ng kanyang cellphone, to include yung mga naging exchange of text messages po nila between him and the kidnappers po. And yesterday din po, yung members po ng SITG had a walkthrough doon po at pumunta po tayo mismo doon sa mga junket operators na implicate po dito sa kaso po na ito. Dalawa po ang pinuntahan natin dyan so that the SIDG together with the members of the Anti-Money Laundering Council, the PAGCOR was there also, and so that the SILG would have a personal views of how a junket operators operates on a daily basis. At tinanong natin mismo yung mga operators po kung paano ba ang isang individual ay nakakapasok ng pera doon sa kanilang junket operation, because based po sa mga evidence po natin na hawak na ito pong initial na ransom money at mga succeeding ransom money ay idinaan po sa junket operators at nagpasalin-salin po yan hanggat it was in the end converted po sa cryptocurrency. At yun po ngayon ang tinetrace natin kung sino po, saan po nag-end po itong ransom money na more or less nasa around 200 million kung hindi po nagkakamali itong takbo po ng ating operations po.
Sabi ng lawyer nung meron daw dalawang Chinese suspect na una lang na-aresto bukod sa 3 suspect sa case ni Anson na nireport ko ngayon. Can you explain or may pabili ko po?
Yung dalawa po na minimension nyo po ay two foreign national who were invited for questioning because of their possible involvement here. Kasama po sila doon sa dalawang personality na pinagdaanan po ng pera bago po ito na-convert into a cryptocurrency po. So they were also impleaded dito po sa kaso po na ito, and we made a referral po sa Bureau of Immigration, and they issued a mission order, and they were inquested for undesirability. So the BID already has the legal custody with respect to this two foreign national po.
Ang sabi mong immigration laws daw, yung parang kaso ng dalawang suspect, bakit daw sa AKG naka-custody?
Because again, like I said earlier po, they were invited for questioning po because of their possible involvement nga. Because nung kinandak na po yung investigation nga po, after na kita nga po yung bangkay ng ating mga biktima, and we started digging doon po sa mga possible na pinagdalan po ng pera based on our conversation and dialogue with the family, na doon nga po dinala yung initially, yung unang bugso po, particularly yung 10 million, ay ipinasok po yon sa isang junket operator po sa isa sa mga casino operating dito po sa ating bansa. And from there, we started digging and following the money trail. At doon nga po, na-identify itong dalawang sinasabi niyo po na foreign national who is still under the custody of the PNP, particularly the AKG, because they were already served a mission order by the BID. The BID shall have the legal custody of these two foreign national pending their inquest proceeding for undesirability or for violation po ng immigration laws. But the legal custody was retained by AKG as per agreement with the BI po.
Bakit hindi sila kasama doon sa tatlo na binalita po ng PNP na naaral?
Because their case will not fall under the inquestable cases po. That's why sila po ay kinasuhan kasama po ng mga ibang respondents, including po itong minimension nyo po na anak po ng biktima. Their case is no longer ripe for warrantless arrest. That is precisely the reason kung bakit nagkaroon po ng preliminary investigation na last Monday to include po yung sinasabi nyo pong dalawang foreign national who will be given the opportunity po para magsumiti po ng counter affidavit to disprove or at least offer an evidence in their favor po.
Ma'am, itong dalawang pinag-uusapan ba natin ay yung nahuli sa Boracay? O iba pa?
Iba pa po yun, ma'am. Meron po tayong inimbitahan din for questioning po sa Region 3, sa Region 6, particularly po sa Boracay po, because they are connected po sa isa po sa main suspects po natin. So just to give you at least a clearer view po kung asaan na po ba yung direction po ng ating investigation, I will be showing to you a link diagram po on the identified suspects so far in relation to the Anton Tan kidnapping case po. So far, sir, ma'am, ito na po yung na-identify po. Remember po, nung huli po tayong nagkausap ay sinabi po natin na may isang unidentified Chinese national na nakita natin na nakatayo po doon sa tabi po ng Lexus, at isang unidentified Chinese national. Identified na po natin sila, yung Chinese national po, who was physically present during the time the two victims were held captive doon po sa bahay po, doon po sa Martha Street, doon po sa Villacor Village, a certain Jonin Lim. At ito po yung babae po na ginamit po na bait to lure the victims in going doon po sa bahay. And of course, you all know already si David Tan, si Richard Austria, yung nag-drive po ng Lexus paalis po doon sa kanilang safe house, and of course yung isa po sa kanilang cohorts na si Raymart Katekista po alias Taba. Ito pong si alias Kelly po ay can we show the link? Ito po siya. Siya po yan pong nakita sa CCTV na nakakausap po yung driver po bago po buksan po itong pinto at lumabas nga po yung biktima. We presume, although hindi po nahagip ng camera dahil nag-overwrite na po. At meron na po siyang, naglagay na po tayo ng 5 million reward for any information that would lead to the possible location and whereabouts of Kelly, who was also identified. Her real name is Wenli Gong, also known as Kelly Tan Lim, Bao Wenli Aksin Wao Yanling. Siya po ay native po ng China at based po sa ating investigation ay involved po siya sa at least 8 kidnapping incidents. Kasama po si David Tan Liao, si Jonin Lin, at saka yung 2 Pilipino po natin. So makikita nyo po yan. In fact, these 8 cases includes po 2 insidente na hindi po na-report sa PNP. And other than these 8 cases po, ito pong si alias Kelly was also previously charged for kidnapping for ransom in connection with the kidnapping of one female Chinese national in Balibago, Angeles in 2022. Corresponding warrant of arrest was issued and he was arrested in 2024 but was later released pursuant to a court order after posting 300,000 cash bond for her provisional release po. So as you can see, ito pong si alias Kelly ay matagal na pong involved sa kidnapping together with David Tan Liao. So kung makikita niyo po, very intricate at very complex po itong ginagawa nating investigation because it appears po na we are dealing with a very or highly organized syndicates engaged in a series of kidnapping. Go back to David Tan Liao. Si David Tan Liao, we call also here, ito po yung kanyang mga involvement and other than these 8 cases na ginawa po niya together with alias Kelly and the rest of those who were reflected in the link diagram ay meron pa rin po siyang other involvement dun sa ito po ay unreported ng November 22 which involves a case of serious illegal detention at attempted robbery. So ganito po kalalim yung involvement po itong si David Tan Liao at siguro po nakikita nyo na rin po na David Tan Liao and Anton Kie is practically moving in the same circle ng kanilang mga businesses and this led us to conclude also na talagang the intention really is to kill the victim because kilala niya mismo ni Anson Tan itong si Mr. David Tan Liao because practically nandun sila sa same circle rubbing elbows with other Chinese community and there's no other way to let the victims go without killing him because kilala siya personally nitong si Anson Tan Kie. And then just to complete the pictures, we will also show the background of alias Amay. So, ito yon kasama rin siya dun sa ibang mga kaso. At sila ang ginagawang tauhan ni David Tan Liao para patayin yung iba sa mga victims natin. Next. And then si Katekista. So we were informed also by the AKG na based on the forwarded result of the forensic investigation doon po sa mga isinabmit po natin sa forensic group, doon sa mga nakolekta po natin na mga evidence doon po sa implementation po natin ng search warrant po ay nagmatch po yung mga fingerprints po ni Richardo Austria, ni David Tan Liao at Katekista doon po sa bahay na sinerban po natin ng search warrant including the DNA po ng mga biktima at saka yung mga suspects po natin. This is will be very helpful in pursuing our case because the victims and the suspects, particularly the 3 main suspects who are under our custody, were placed physically doon po sa kanilang safe house kung saan hineld in captivity po itong ating mga biktima bago po sila patayin at eventually tinapon po sa Barangay Macabon, Rodriguez, Rizal. So like I said earlier po, ang investigation po natin is very complex po and our Chinese foreign counterparts, we had a meeting with them po, ay coordinating and cooperating with us to unmask other possible suspects behind not only dito po sa kaso po na ito, maging na rin po doon sa ibang mga kaso po. So they are extending some technical investigative capabilities to assist us in uncovering some more kidnapping case, and possibly matrace po natin kung saan po talaga nanggaling po, at least nag-end up itong ating ransom money po. What is clear ngayon po is na-establish po natin na yung ang mga junket operators operating in casinos are being used as main conduits for at least 3 or 4 illegal activities, to include illegal drugs, human trafficking, kidnapping, and pogo-link illegal activities. So, kasama po namin ang Anti-Money Laundering Council, including the PAGCOR po, na nag-iimbestiga po sa kaso po na ito, because the case of Anson Can is not the first case na ganito po ang naging mechanism or modus operandi kung paano po nila tinransfer at nakuha po yung mga ransom money po using digital wallets po.
Well, yung Chinese community, naglabas sila ng statement po ngayon na parang sinasabi nila sa PNP na paano na-involve, tinatanong nila ang PNP, paano na-involve yung anak, bakit daw pinapaniwalaan ang isang kriminal na tulad ni Liao sa mga sinabi niya. Ano pa daw po ang hawak na ebidensya ng PNP na magpapatunay na yung anak ay involved?
We have to make it clear, ma'am, no? Hindi natin paniniwalaan lahat po ng statement ni David Tan Liao. The prime reason kung bakit po siya na-implead as one of the respondents is because of the assertion of the David Tan Liao doon po sa kanyang extrajudicial confession po when he surrendered before the AKG po. But maliban doon sa kanyang assertion ay wala naman siyang naipapakita pa na ibang ebidensya linking, although may mga sinasabi po siya doon sa kanyang statements, including the alleged meeting with the son, and even the physical and even the calls, wala po siyang maipresent. That is why the PNP AKG, particularly the SITG, is being cautious in accepting hook, line, and sinker po dito sa mga revelation po, at least allegation po ni David Tan Liao, because we want to make sure na this should be backed up by other pieces of evidence. Katulad nga po nito na nandun na po tayo ngayon sa financial investigation, because we are confident na once we trace po yung naging yung money trail po, we can identify other players in this particular case po.
Wag yung anak, hawak na EKG?
Hindi po. But he is cooperating with the investigation po. In fact, like I mentioned earlier po, he voluntarily appeared before the AKG. He voluntarily submitted his cell phone to undergo forensic examination with the objective of clearing his name.
Ma'am, ino-question din po ng Chinese community ang paglalabas daw ng affidavit nung ni Liao. Bakit daw po nakalabas? So sa PNP po nila binibintang.
For the record po, ma'am, hindi po PNP ang naglabas po nitong mga dokumento po na ito.
So, ano ang description natin ngayon kay dun sa anak? Alvin.
He's one of the respondents.
Hindi siya yung so far, hindi siya.
Well, in the absence of any concrete evidence, we will leave it at that, one of the respondents po. Based on the allegation of Mr. David Tan Liao.
Okay lang po malaman. Ano yung naging, kung pwede na malaman, ano yung naging role niya during nangyayari yung kidnapping? Ano ba yan? Isa ba siya dun sa nag-mediate or kinakausap ng mga kidnappers?
He was the designated focal person po ng family to negotiate po with the kidnappers po, or at least yung mga individual na may hawak po kay Anson Tan from March 29 until their cadavers were discovered on April 9, 2025.
Although the PNP doesn't want to take Liao's statements and allegations regarding Sinker, ano po ba, pwede po ba natin ilatag dyan? Ano po, kailan nagkaroon sila ng interaction, si Liao, David Tan, Kim,
as to the specifics, I cannot discuss it point by point, because in fairness po doon sa mga involved po, they will be given the opportunity po to answer po by piece po kung ano po yung mga allegation po ni David Tan Liao. But what I can tell you somehow is, according to him, it was he named the son of the victim as the one who ordered for the kidnapping and eventual killing of the main victim po. But as to the specifics po, nasa DOJ na po yung kaso po, and we don't want to preempt po yung anuman po yung magiging decision po ng DOJ dito. But on the part of the SITG po, ay inilatag na po natin at isinumiti na po natin lahat po ng mga pieces of evidence po, including forensic evidence po, and we are confident po na we can meet po yung sinasabi pong reasonable certainty of conviction, at least with respect po dito sa mga tao pong pinapakita natin sa inyo.
The order to kill Mr. K and Mr. Pabilo came directly from the sun.
That's according to David Tanliao. But again, let me throw caution in the wind. DLT, we cannot discount the possibility that the David Tanliao is misleading the investigation to cover up for someone. Yun yung hindi natin po pwedeng iisantabi yun. And there is also a possibility that David Tanliao is the mastermind himself, because considering po yung ibang mga involvement po niya doon sa mga previous killings po, together with the alias Kelly, John and Lynn, and these two Filipino cohorts po, and there is also a possibility that their group is operating within the scheme of things under David Tanliao.
Ma'am, yung dalawang nahuli sa Boracay, kanino konektado dyan sa mga suspect, at bakit sila nasa Boracay at parang paalis na naman Saka,
They are connected with alias Kelly po. But as to the specific of their involvement, I hope you understand. I cannot give more specific because this might compromise po yung ongoing investigation. The direction of our investigation now is really to follow the money trail. And last Monday, we held our case conference again, and this evening we will again have our case conference to give the members of the SITG to give some updates with respect to their individual tasking to somehow lead us to the conclusion who really are the mastermind, if indeed there is somebody or a group over this group.
Assuming without conceding na tama itong Silvia pinagsasabi niya, anong motibo ng anak? May papatay ang ama?
That is part of the investigation, sir. Like I said, we cannot accept hook, line, and sinker the statements, at least the allegation of David. For all we know, he's just saying this to exculpate himself. So, hindi natin na ito imamadel just because somebody claiming na mayroong nag-utos sa kanya, because obviously dito sa mga binigay nating mga series of kidnapping case na involved siya, ay sila lang ang nagtrabaho dito, obviously including the payment of ransom money through the junket operators and even the killings of other kidnapping cases. It appears based on the evidence presented to us during the case conference, it ended up at least dito po sa grupo po ni David Tanliao. Like I said, we have to be cautious, we have to be careful and very thorough in investigating this case, because there is a possibility also that David Tanliao, just to escape criminal liability, will be pinpointing to other person just to have a leverage in against the ultimate mastermind, if there is any. None. Except for the statement that alleging there were phone calls, there were physical meetings and all. There were no evidence presented to us, and that is precisely the reason why we are still in the process of case build-up to establish other evidence that would somehow corroborate yung ating theory dito po sa kaso po na ito.
Kasi kung meron man lang at least phone conversation, may records of phone.
Yeah, none at all.
Mga tama doon sa 5 yan, 3 pa lang po ang hawak ng PNP.
3 po, si David Tanliao, si Austria, si Katekista, they were inquested po alas 19. I think April 19, Black Saturday po. Ito pong ongoing po ang manhunt kay Kelly at saka po kay Jonin. At doon sa dalawang sinasabi niyo po na nasa Boracay, nag-undergo po sila ng some interviews, and this is precisely the reason why we are in close coordination with BID, because they are also foreign national, Chinese national.
Ma'am, yung 5 million. 5 million si Jonel Lin at
Si Kelly lang po, because we believe po, based on the evidence presented to us at hawak po nating ebidensya, Kelly plays a very important role dito po sa kaso po ni Anson Tan. Remember, she was the one na ginamit po to lure Anson Tan in going to the Marta Street po, in sa number 345 po.
Ma'am,
It was given by a concerned citizen po na gusto pong masolve po kaagad ito when they learned that we are running after this Kelly, when we identified her as the female Chinese national who were used to lure and bait po si Anson Tan para po pumunta po dun sa lugar, and after conducting operational research na identify po natin itong si alias Kelly, and this is precisely the reason po kung bakit po may nag-offer po ng reward po for her immediate identification and possible location po para malagay po natin siya sa custody so that we could extract more information that can shed light on this particular case po.
Ma'am, magkano si alias Kelly at si Anson Kelly?
There is no relation, but like I said, ito pong si Kelly, this is not the first case po na ginamit siya as bait po. Doon po sa ibang mga kaso, particularly yung case po niya doon sa na-issuehan po siya ng warrant, ang kanyang cover naman po doon ay bibili niya yung condo. He was the female Chinese victim was lured in meeting her in the guise of buying her condo. At least 2 cases were also there are at least 2 other cases kung saan ginamit itong si Kelly para i-lure yung male victim po. So malaki po yung magiging papel po natin, and based po doon sa extrajudicial confession po nung dalawang Filipino cohorts po, ay accordingly ay ang may hawak po ng telepono at accordingly ang may hawak ng telepono nag-negotiating with the family po ay ito pong si Kelly. So malaki po ang talagang namin dito. Kaya we are showing this her faces para matulungan po tayo ng ating mga kababayan para malocate po natin at sa ilalim po sa kustodiya po ng PNP. Ito pong si Gong Wenli alias also known as Kelly Tan Lim.
Sa tingin niyo nandito siya sa bansa o wala?
We believe na nandito pa po siya.
Ma'am, sabi niyo nagpalipat-lipat sa 5 tao using jacket.
Yeah.
Bakit po kayo naputol pagdating sa crypto? Saan po kayo nahihirapan para at-least?
Yung cryptocurrency po kasi is a digital wallet po. It's I think 12-digit code na ang meron lang pong nakakaalam po noon kung sino po yung may control po doon. At yung pong sinasabi natin na mga more than 5 na nagpasalin-salin po through the mechanism po ng junket operator, ay yung pinakadulo po nito ay wala po dito sa Pilipinas po. Yung may-ari po ng account na yon can be anywhere outside of the Philippines po. So kung hindi po yung cryptocurrency modalities po na yon, if it's operating outside o hindi po siya kasama doon sa mga registered na cryptocurrency service provider po ng Pilipinas, ay mahihirapan po tayong i-trace po siya. But again, that's precisely the reason why AMLAC is already on board in this case para po tulungan po tayo sa pagtitrace po nitong cryptocurrency, kasi gusto nating malaman kay nino ba talaga nag-end up yung mga ransom money po.
In the absence of at least a corroborating statement, bakit sinama agad si Mr. David?
Well, that is the...
Naintindihan ko yung family, isipin mo kung namatayan sila ng ama. Tapos ngayon, lumulutang ang pangalan ng anak. Tapos at the end of the day, kung sakali lang, turn out na talagang gumawa lang pala ng kwento kung si Mr. Lau. Ang epekto nito sa kapamilya.
Well, during the case build-up and prior to the inquest proceeding, isinabmit po yung mga extrajudicial confession po at statement po nung dalawa pong naaresto po natin at saka yung pong si David Tan Liao. We cannot just turn a blind eye doon sa mga allegations po niya. Anyway, kaya nga po yun po yung reason why dinaan po natin sa preliminary investigation so that the family could submit a contrary evidence to prove of na hindi totoo itong sinasabi po ni David Tanliao, because specifically he was mentioned doon po sa statement po ni David Tanliao. So it is prudent on the part of the investigators and AKG to include his name as one of the respondents po. Anyway, like I said earlier, they will be given the opportunity to submit controverting evidence po.
Clarification. Tatlo itong main suspect na hawak. And aside from them, may apat na hindi hawak.
Yung dalawa po na under legal custody po ng BID, kasama po sila doon sa sinasabi kong more than 5 na dinaanan po ng pera po before it was converted into cryptocurrency, and 2 more Chinese national who is now being questioned po doon po sa Boracay po because of their possible involvement po dito po kay Kelly.
Ma'am, tama po ba? Naniniwala yung pamilya na walang kinalaman yung anak sa pagdupat at pagpatay sa...
Well, let us wait for the submission of their counter affidavit and answers po. We don't want to preempt po kung anong magiging stand po ng family. But what I can share to you is the family is cooperating with the AKG, with the SITG, and all the questions thrown to them were answered in the best of their knowledge with the assistance of their lawyer po.
Yung dalawa na nasa custody ng AKG for being undesirable alien, hindi mo nalagyan.
Ito po yung reason kung bakit kahapon po ay nagkaroon po kami ng ocular inspection, yung lahat po ng members po ng SIDG, to familiarize ourselves kung ano po ba, paano nag-ooperate ang isang junket operator po sa loob po ng casino. So when we say junket operators, marami po yan. By the hundreds. In lahat po ng mga casinos po ay meron po yan, tinatawag po silang cage. So pag pumunta po kayo doon, so practically, literally, kaya po siya tinawag na cage, ay para po, may mga rehas po siya. Nandun po, kung ako po ay individual na gusto ko pong maglaro at may dala po akong pera, let's say 500,000 pesos, pupunta po ako doon sa cage, ipapapalit ko po yon ng chips. Tapos yun po ang ipi-play ko, kasi pagdating po doon sa casino proper po, hindi naman po actual na pera po yun. Kung yung nakikita po nating chips, yun po yung ipinapalit po doon. So kung matalo o manalo man po ako at the end of my playing activities po, babalik po ako doon sa cage para i-withdraw po yung remaining na naiwan po sa akin in case natalo po ako, o kung may winnings naman po ako, doon pa rin po ako babalik sa cage para po i-withdraw po yung para i-withdraw po uli into a physical money po, yung mga chips po na either natalo ko o naiwan ko o napanalunan ko. Yung pong sinasabi ko na mga possible involvement po dito ay isa po sa tinitingnan natin is there are indication indeed na merong mga violations po ng mga policy with respect po sa mga junket operators po, because ang casino po is a covered institution po with respect po doon sa Anti-Money Laundering Council. The casinos are required to report po na kapag ka ang isang individual na player po, sino man, whether foreign or Filipino po, ay ang threshold amount po is 5 million. If I deal more than 5 million, the junket operators are required to report po sa casinos po na meron pong nag-deposit at nag-withdraw po more than the threshold amount of 5 million po. Dito po sa particular case po na ito ay nakita natin there are clear violations po na ang junket operation po ay hindi po nag-report. We're talking about more than 200 million. Pumasok po sa mga junket operators. At hindi lang po isang player ang pinagdaanan po ng players ng pera po na yon na ipinasok po in different dates starting from March 31 until April 8. So there were series of transfer from March 31 hanggang April 3. So nandun po yung direction ng investigation po natin.
So yung dalawa niyan, sila yung nagpapatakbo ng agent?
No, the junket operation, the junket operators is different doon po sa mga pinagdaanan ng pera. Ito po yung mga kliyente po ng junket operators na nagpapasok at nagwi-withdraw po ng pera ng junket operation. Parang ang ano po is parang bangko po ito na ipinasok po. Bangko po doon, para siyang, isa po siyang parang booth po, na money booth po, na ako po, may physical money po ako, pupunta po ako doon, at i-convert ko po siya into chips. So yung mga tao po na yun na sinasabi ko po, yun po yung hawak po natin ngayon.
Sila ang nagdala.
Yes po. At maliban po doon, I'm giving too much information already. Nagkakaroon po ng transfer po sa iba-iba pong mga players po. So yun po yung tinitrace natin, because if indeed na meron na po tayong money trail na sila talaga yung pinagdaanan, including the accounts po, then obviously this is the reason why they were also impleaded as respondents po. Because kung nag-deal po sila ng, we're talking about 200 million, na imposibleng hindi nila alam na yung proceeds po na yun ay galing sa illegal.
Parang ang junket operation ginamit para to clean yung victim.
Yes. And this is the direction we are going to establish, and we indeed establish na yung mga junket operators operating in different casinos nationwide are being used as main conduit of dirty money.
Ma'am, natukoy na ng PNP kung saan junket operators o saan casino?
Yes. Yes. But please allow me not to expound more on the identities of the casinos and including the junket operators.
But we're looking at filing charges against these casinos.
Definitely there will be sanction with respect to the junket operators, and the BSP is also looking into it. The AMLAC is also looking into it, and other government agencies, and including PAGCOR also.
Gano'ng kalalaki mga casino ito? Ito yung mga nasa...
There are big casinos. And in fairness to this particular casino, they were cooperating with the investigation yes.
I'm sorry, ano nga po yung possible charges that you'll be recommending?
Well, let us wait for the investigation to be finished, because but definitely there will be some administrative sanction we are looking into, and we have to wait for the final report to be rendered by the Anti-Money Laundering Council with respect sa mga possible violation po ng casinos concerned, and of course the junket operators involved in this particular case. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Ma'am, yung ano?
Kay ID daw, ma'am. Reaction.
Okay. Again, this is the position of the PNP with respect to the possible criminal and administrative cases to be filed against the Chief PNP and General Torre, and they are prepared to answer any and all charges before any proper forum. But we have to reiterate na ang naging papel lang po ng PNP dito sa pag-aresto po kay dating Pangulong Duterte is we just extended assistance sa PCTC who requested na tulungan natin sila para i-implement po yung Red Fusion notice po issued against the former president po. And they believe they acted within the bounds of law and within the mandate of their office po. Aklan, ongoing pa po. Kanina kausap ko po yung provincial director po ng Aklan, and they are pursuing good leads, at nagsimula na rin po silang mag-backtrack and forward trackings po ng mga CCTV footages para po matrace po yung movement before and after the shooting incident involving po si Ginoong Johnny Dayang po. Well, definitely we will be looking at multiple angles po, including po yung possible po na nabanggit po ni PD na hindi na po siya practicing media po dahil he is already 89 years old. At but then again, kahit pa po siya ay retired na po na media practitioner po, ay hindi po yun magiging hadlang para tignan din po natin doon sa mga previous engagement po niya, at least sa activities niya in relation to his being a media partners po. sa politika, titingnan din po natin yon kung meron po ba siyang sinusuportahan ng mga kandidato for this May national and local elections. So lahat po ng anggulo ay tinitingnan po ng SITG at ang commitment po sa atin ng Provincial Director and even the Regional Director po ng Police Regional Office 3, who by the way, na nandun po ngayon sa mismong crime scene at kumakausap po doon sa mga witnesses at nagkakalap po ng mga ebidensya. Si PD at si RD po ay nandun ngayon sa crime scene.
Ano ba yung political background?
Si Ginoong Johnny Dayang po, 89 years old, ay former journalist po at mamamahayag po, connected po sa Manila Bulletin. Dati rin po siyang ex-mayor po ng Kalibo, Aklan po.
Hindi naman siya kumakandidato.
Hindi po sir.
Ma'am, huwag mo lang umalis sandali.